Just big.
Yeah.
Just deep, bruh.
Nyake.
Na pivun
Madawika.
pivun matsume
Ithiti Isini.
ititi nakusage.
Ithiti Day.
Buena.
Kikadoos.
Halito
Sio.
Buenamente.
Stongo.
madawika.
Khasi Tali.
Sio.
Stongo shkinyecha
Mike.
together.
Mike Kevin.
I learned a new one.
Hmm.
We have a client that is a student. He is Alabama Kashadi,
Mhm.
and he says Chicano. That's their greeting.
Really?
It's
Chicano.
easy.
What?
Yeah.
I've been called Chicano all my life. So it works out perfect.
Already know it, huh?
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. Coming live from 1950 South Shepherd here in El Reno. My name is Barry Boat.
My name is Tatum Escott.
And
Choke up on the mic, bruh.
And
Choke up
I'm
on the mic.
Darian Chabata.
Is it still too far?
No, just we're speaking into ours, and it sounds like you're
Yeah,
further
you're
away.
scared.
Like you're squared.
I'm just chilling.
I know we got the deepest couch in the world. I can't even put my feet down.
Sitting on a
Over here.
cushion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start sliding out because of that.
I know. I'm just gonna start laying down and talking. Have the mic pointing down. Everything. But good morning, Stacy Starr.
Stacy.
Good morning,
Stacey.
Jen Miller. And she said, "Cool room." Yep, we're
So-
trying to upgrade.
Trying.
Yeah, we'll see.
It gets real complicated
Yeah.
real fast.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll make it work. Sometimes
It's gonna be the whole live. Be right
I'm just
after.
gonna turn it off. When I was getting a massage the other day, I was like, let me just turn this off really quick.
Trying to relax.
Even though it's like
No.
life-saving memeasures.
the ending's coming up.
Might as well enjoy it.
I need to focus. Can't have distractions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to upgrade the studio. That way we can easily switch from 2 people to
As
what do we
many
have?
as
7. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, Tatum
could
fell off of
really-
this couch yesterday, I think, when we
Yeah,
were
I
putting
did.
this stuff up. And then I tripped and almost died over some cords. And so so it's a fun time. We're trying to get a new camera, so we'll see how that works out. So that way we don't have this big old thing right there. Yeah.
So you want to tell us a little bit about the meeting last night on Full House?
Yes, I will. Every chair was filled at the talking circle last night.
Mm-hmm.
I started picking people up around 6.
Yeah.
Like I knew, we had to go quite a few places. I think we picked up 7 people.
Really?
People.
Wow.
Well, and then we had our kids too, So
Yeah.
full car. It was really cool because like after reflecting on it, I'm like, we're just all people of all different ages and we're just riding in this car, listening to music, there's all different conversations going on.
Yeah. Healthy force.
Yeah. It was cool. I was like, I could do this, and I would be happy to do it because I know you and Natalie, pick people up.
Oh yeah.
But I know there's probably some times where y'all want to like eat dinner before the meeting or, or,
Yeah.
just
But we
have
eat
things.
kind of early. We'll eat
have
like
things
right
to
after.
do. Yeah. But so I really enjoyed that. And the meeting was great. It felt good to be back in the circle. Saw some familiar faces and some new ones.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you for picking up our slack. You know, I like I was sitting here by myself yesterday, and I just thought, like, man, like this is the first meeting that I've missed in a long time. So like my Thursdays are like dedicated to this meeting.
Yeah.
And I've missed out on some like family functions, or because I'm like, no, I need this meeting. But I was just sitting there thinking, like, how can I be of service? Because then I'm trying to direct traffic, like, oh, this person needs a ride, that person needs to get here, this is their address, this is their phone number.
Dispatch.
Yeah. Trying to, and I just thought to myself, like, I'm gonna sweep them up. Like, I'm just gonna, like, that's the most I could do for this meeting right now, since I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, like I don't like missing, my Thursday nights. But it felt like it was all worth it, whenever I went to my nephew's game. So I mean, like it was like kind of a weird energy there. I mean, because somebody messaged me and was like, don't go. Like trying to like tell me like,
How to live your
and
life.
I just thought like, well, that sucks for that person. Thinking that you're trying to control other people's happiness, and I don't know, it was just like a weird vibe. So, like I'm glad I went.
So you
Yeah.
faced it head on.
Yeah,
you
like,
win.
yeah.
If you give in to that person, then you're just letting them win.
Yeah. I mean, and it's weird because it's not even my ex, or you know what I mean? Like there's no, like there's no emotional,
No bad blood or anything.
yeah, like I thought we were good, but because of who I'm related to, they just thought they would throw me in there with them. And it was just but for the most part, I mean, I love my family, and no one's ever going to be able to stop that. So it was a great experience. Got to see see him advance in the state tournament. I mean, like that's a big deal. Seen some old friends, met some new people. Mr. Revelis, that was cool. I mean, it was just a good feeling. It was a good feeling all the way around, and I'm very glad that I chose to go. So
That smoke is coming right
at you.
Yeah. You need it.
I need the blessings.
Well, that and probably Barry's fan.
Yeah, I'll blow it towards Darian.
Yeah. My asthma be
Well, now I can feel the AC.
Well, I just turned it down.
Yeah, I can feel the AC now. So
Yeah, it was
I'll
hot.
quit
in
being
here.
a fat
blow
boy.
that towards Darian.
Yeah, because I'll still be hot.
No, it was going straight up now. That thing's smoking.
Yeah.
That's what we need. You must be been evil or something, because you've been letting this smoke get to you a lot lately.
Oh,
Tell us about that.
what?
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? What's right with you?
Yeah, what's right with you? Whichever one's shorter.
I'm good.
There we go.
All right.
There we go.
Thanks for sharing.
Perfect.
I don't know. That smoke's been chasing you, so something's been going on.
All week.
It's just protecting me.
All week.
Yeah.
Carrying me through.
Yeah, it's prepping me for something great.
Yeah, it's just kind of getting on my nerves at the same time.
Eyes open.
I'll be all teary-eyed from the smoke and everything.
Also, before I went to bed, I stayed. Of course, Jake didn't get on till like it was like 11:30. I seen that he was on, and I think I was already laying in bed, like lights off. I'm scrolling, come across his live. Turned the lamp back on, jumped on, and shared with them. Heard him sing a few songs. After midnight, man, that's my cutoff point. When it gets to about midnight, and get off. But then I get on Facebook, and I just happened to come across Don C's post, about missing his wife.
Mm.
Mhm.
And if I just want to, him and my brother Albert Titman, they both recently experienced losses in their life. So if you could say a prayer for them and anybody else, that may be going through, losing a loved one. I really look up to those men. They're good people. I mean, there's no way I can explain it better than, they're good people, and they will help you in any way that they can. But the hurt of one is the hurt of all. So those men, I really look up to them, and if you could just say a prayer for them, for Don C, Mr. Koyas, and Albert Titman Sr. And so those are just something. When I woke up this morning and I said my morning prayer, that was something that I was like, I'm going to express that whenever I get. For some reason, I already had it in my head, like, I need to get on today, and I need to.
Yep. Isn't it weird how that happens? Like some days you're like, nah, I don't want to.
Yeah,
don't
like,
even want to
I'm
be
not
near the
feeling this
camera.
at all.
And then other days it's like, try and stop me.
Yesterday,
Like,
yesterday, I was not feeling it.
Yeah, and then right after Tina shares, all right, now, man.
Yeah, like,
locked
Like it
in.
was.
it's that
And then
that.
Peter was first.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
I know she was
Yeah.
amped up.
She was ready.
Yeah, it was that emotional. Like I felt that. And it talked about belonging. And it just, so I resonate a lot with these stories.
Mm.
Yeah. Can you read the comments?
I guess you're right there. You can see him.
Well, I mean, you had to scroll up.
Oh, all right. Stacy says, "Dang, almost died. Don't do that. You're my favorite one." Wait, what did I say? Me almost died, or you almost died?
Yeah, shared her beeping.
Oh,
yeah. Well, look at that. You're Stacy's
Tatum.
favorite.
I'm on the verge of death every day.
I know she's living on edge.
Life, more.
Yeah. That's why I stay
That's
in
why I
that.
don't eat and then just hear the
Damage
sirens.
in my body.
I
I told her yesterday when I was sitting there mopping, I was just thinking about it. You want to meet your grandkids? You better go fix that.
yeah, yeah. Just eat something. Yeah, just over here every day, and then like what's funny is like I'll think I'm like, dang, we haven't heard that alarm in like an hour, and then right whenever I'm thinking that, yeah, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
like here she is waiting
Get
to
your life together.
yeah.
Brittany was like last night. She was like, "That sounds like my monitor." I said, "Girl, that's my monitor."
Everybody
Yeah.
check their
Cool, so
phones.
we're
in
all-
the
Yeah,
beginning.
everybody, all diabetics and
Yeah.
glucose and all the things
Yeah.
that go with.
Just all of it. All right. Nadina says good morning.
Good morning, Nadina.
Paula Cooper says good morning from Lawton.
Hey, Madawaka Pala.
Jabo says Nyaket nephews have a good day.
Ititi Nakusei, Chanti.
Million2 Baby says Pivawana Indians fills my
Pivawana.
heart with joy and happiness that so many natives are all on this red road. Boy howdy.
Boy,
Hey, for all the good blessings.
Aho, sis. Aho. And she's a Sealand Wildcat.
Mm-hmm.
Eat his people.
Yep. And then Shirlene says Nyaket nephew Tatum and Barry.
Hey, good morning. Good
Sean
morning.
Colley says, good morning, everybody. Finally made it back from Fort Marion prison. Took 5 different planes to accomplish that. Oh, dang. 5 different trips. 5?
Wow, Shondoff.
Yeah. A great step in my healing journey. Haho. Gracias, Jefe.
That's pretty cool, though. I heard there's like paintings and like stuff that they did down in some caves down there.
Mm-hmm.
Like some pretty old drawings and.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a long history. Long history. I'm sure. I wonder what all kinds of natives were down there, because I know like the Florida Seminoles, like they were like imprisoned there. Like they have like a pretty cool story of one of their chiefs had his arms cut off. They cut his arms off.
Wow.
Cut his hands off. And whenever they went to war, he like tied some knives to his arms and went through and was Yeah.
Going in
Yeah.
for battle.
Inspiration for some movies, I'm pretty sure.
But I mean, but you know, I want to hear like all the tribes that, you know, there's probably a history, a deep history of, you know, the oppression that was going on at the time. So
Mhm.
it's pretty neat. Pretty neat. So I'm glad I'm glad him and my auntie I heard my auntie had to drag him out of a nude beach. So I'm
Oh,
glad Randolph
God.
made it back out, you know, no charges or
You say dragon by what? I know, he's really kicking and screaming, trying.
Yo,
No, let me stay.
he still got sand in his thong, but you know, I'm glad my aunt and
know.
uncle, you know, they're good people, man. I love them guys. You know, I give my uncle hell, but you know, like I really look up to Shondoff. So
Mhm.
glad you made it home safely, Uncle.
Yep.
Get home and wash some dishes.
Y'all want to hear about my
Of course.
epiphany yesterday while I was sitting waiting for people to show up to my talking circle? And they didn't. But that's okay.
Yep.
That's all right.
Takes time.
I showed up, you know what I mean? And I'll just keep showing up. And but so I was sitting there thinking about how, Barry, you talk about like we were given the gift of desperation, right?
Mhm.
And getting and like if you've been through addiction, I'm sure this is relatable, but for me personally, like at one point my addiction was so bad that like I thought the only way out was like to take my own life, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And I know that like a lot of people have felt that in their addiction, you know, like that like I have no other options, so this is what I'm going to do. Well, then for whatever reason, like I was given the gift of desperation, but also I feel like God was like God allowed me to see recovery. You know what I mean? And so like some people might go and get sober, but like they don't get the touch of like or they don't get all this recovery that like we have, you know? And so like on days when like I feel like, oh, I want to give up or like, you know, I'm just like struggling mentally or whatever the case may be, like God literally showed me that for a reason, you know? Like and so just for anyone that feels like relapse might be an option, um if you were given that, like that was gifted to you, you know, from God. In my opinion, that was a gift. And so I don't know, that's kind of what was on my mind, you know.
I like that. You know, or maybe, you know, like from what I can remember, the toughest choice I ever made was not how it wasn't um you know, with who or you know what was going to happen, you know, like how it was going to happen. It was when.
Mhm.
You know, like when am I going to take that step?
Yeah.
You know, and I spoke to the guy today, you know, shout out to Justin Evans. You know, I spoke to him maybe, you know, 30, 45 minutes ago to help somebody else. But um, I remember, you know, making that call. And I called his brother first. Oh, you must be looking for my brother. You know, and I just, oh, you're not him? You know, so he gave me his number. Called his number. He didn't answer. But his voicemail said, you know, I'm probably on the phone with another client. Give me a few minutes and I will get back to you.
Mhm.
To me, that just meant
Not meant to be.
wasn't meant to be. All right, click. You know, like, and it was an actual house phone. My brother still has a house phone.
That wait, that you were
Yeah, that I was calling from. So, you know, I just left. You know, I was on my way to mow a lawn and I just left, you know, and then it's like 2 weeks go by, same in the same boat. You know, keep waking up in the same place, going through the same thing. You know, it's like my life was on repeat. And I just was just sitting there, you know, just having a thought by myself, you know, like I just woke up. I'm going to get ready so I can go and, you know, it was like my life was on repeat.
Mhm.
And I just remember thinking, like, man, what if I just had the opportunity? Well, then I needed to get a hold of somebody. So I get the house phone and I'm going through the old numbers, you know, caller ID to get this number because I didn't have a cell phone at the time. And I just ran across his number. It said Justin Evans. He did call me back. He did like return my phone call. And then there was a voicemail on the answering machine. I listened to it and he's like, I'm like, wow, like what the hell, like, but I think I needed to experience even those 2 weeks
Yeah.
of seeing how, I do want this. And, and if I don't want it, this is what's going to keep repeating itself. And it was like, like almost like a God thing, like you were just saying, like I had to be shown like the choices that I'm going to keep making. And I called him back, and literally 3 days later, I was in California. Literally 3 days later, I woke up sober, started my journey, and haven't looked back. So I heard the AC go off. So
Yeah.
Thank gosh. I was about to tell you to
Take a
get up and
blanket. There's blankets right
turn it
there.
off.
you need some iron in your
Yeah,
life.
you need to eat.
Oh my gosh. Darian's my
We're over here.
therapist. You're my doctor. I have full service at
Yeah,
work.
I
don't even have
know,
to
yeah.
leave work anymore.
All uncertified too, but street
I'm
knowledge.
certified.
Yeah, I'm certified in something. I don't know what.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get these comments and this reading going.
Mhm.
All right.
I've been reading on TikTok, but only because nobody can see me when I got my magnifying glass.
Big O thing. Mary Soap says, "Good morning to you all. Have a great Friday."
Hey, thank you for tuning in, Mary.
And then Ron, I think he's listing the tribes that were in Fort Marion: Cheyenne, Arapaho, Comanche, Kiowa, and Carson.
Mm.
And then Ferris says Nyaket.
Yuck it
Oh, Ron said he's trying to start his own nudist colony. Yeah.
at Canton.
Yeah. Yeah. Just anywhere he
Yeah.
goes.
No, what's the one out there? The lake out there?
Canton Lake?
No. There's one by Hammond, by
Foss Lake?
Foss Lake.
Yeah.
Foss.
No, he's gonna try it at
And
the
that's
Concho
all.
Ponds.
It's just gonna be the dental floss that he's wearing. Foss floss.
Yeah. He'll rename it Floss Lake. Yeah. Yeah,
Floss,
and they'll just have like parentheses optional.
Yeah. Floss your floss.
Oh my gosh.
And then my grandpa Rory says Nyaket.
Yuck it.
And then Aaron Blackcliff says good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Belinda Bible says good morning from Tulsa.
Congo.
1,153 days sober.
Hey, all right, Belinda.
And
Tell
then
my brother I said, Sio.
And then Marty Baker says good morning.
Good morning. That's my sister.
Morning.
And then Frida says Mike to Govern, brothers
So,
and sisters.
If she's watching, then my granddaughters are watching. Hi, Alani. Hi, Nova. Nova Jean. Hi, babies. Papa loves you. That made my day.
There we go. Now we just wait for the comment on if they said
Mhm.
hi back or not.
Yeah, Lonnie and Nova Jean.
Yeah. Anytime if my kids are watching something, who knows if they're looking or not, because they'll find
Yeah.
something else like and just not even pay attention to me. I'm like,
Yeah, I
"All right."
like hearing Nova say, she goes, Papa. Like,
Yeah. And then Mary Face says kick a deuce.
Saduda, hey, sister.
And then Marty says me and Nova Jean, she's saying hi.
Oh, hi, Nova Jean. Nova Jean.
You know how we're like doing the AI clips or
Mhm.
of our lives now, and they're on YouTube. Well, Josie was watching YouTube Shorts, and one of our clips was on YouTube Shorts.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was of you, and she was like, "Oh my god, like,
You
freaking
guys are
out.
famous.
Yeah. You're on YouTube Shorts, mom."
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we try to throw them on there. But yeah, the hard part is if we have to make our own clips, because then you got to figure out like when was that? Like yesterday, me trying to find the body
Yeah.
roll. I was like, it was somewhere in here. Then like me and Nat are talking. Then I was like, wait, found it. It's like barged in the middle of conversation. But yeah,
Natalie
they're
was
fun.
cracking me up yesterday at the game.
Mm.
I had to lean over and be like, babe, they can't hear you.
Was she getting real?
She's
hyped?
all into it. Like, and my brother is like coaching from the sideline, from the top. balcony, but you know, like I enjoy the passion.
Mhm.
You know, Natalie's like all extra. I lean over, babe. They can't hear you. Say, I don't care.
They'll feel me in their spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, Ron said Carson should be Caddo, so the Caddo tribe.
Oh,
And then Seth Humphrey says, "Good morning from Waha."
hey, brother. I need to call you here in a little while, Seth. We need to have a talk about. I don't know. We'll get into it. I'll call you. I'll call you in a little
Spilling the
bit.
beans right now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about it. It's kind of important. So
Hmm.
Okay, I have
Alright.
the reading here.
yeah, go ahead.
The book.
March 6th. No.
Excuse me.
Okay. And there are 4 corners of the earth that we talk about, the 4 colors of people and the 4 winds. You see the winds, they are spirits. Grandfather William Kamanda
Yeah, Commander.
Algonquin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. The elders teach us about the 4 directions. If we learn about direction, we also learn about attention, about focus, and about power. Each direction has spiritual power. In the morning, go outside, face the east, and get still. Then, listen to your thoughts. After you have done this for a while, turn and face the west. Get quiet once again and listen to your thoughts. Did your thinking change when you changed directions? Great Spirit, teach me the power of the 4 directions. Gary, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. uh, you know, like you hear that a lot growing up around here in Oklahoma. You know, so many different tribes, 39 tribes to be exact, and you know, so many different. You know, I think we've all, in a way, influenced each other, but also we have our own teachings. I think it's a common thing, you know, that we recognize the 4 directions from, and this is what I was told. You know, what I've been taught is that whenever the Creator, he had these four spirits, and whenever before he did something, he like he talked to these spirits and he said, "This is what I'm about to do. You know, I'm about to make this earth. I'm about to make these people. I'm about to make these animals. I'm about to, you know, do this. I'm about to do that. You know, like." And I was told that these 4 spirits in the north, in the east, in the south, and in the west, that he made everything, created everything in front of them. So that's why, you know, like it's so important to recognize those things, because they witnessed all of creation. You know, and I was told there's a story that goes back to when it was Ice Age here on the earth. And, you know, because that's how far back our oral history goes, you know, before Ice Age and, you know, after Ice Age. But um, I was told that these 4 spirits, you know, the whole earth was covered with ice. The whole earth was in the winter season. And that these 4 spirits came to the Cheyenne people and told them that they were cold. And the Cheyenne people covered them with cloth. And because of that, they gave us a ceremony called the cloth ceremony. And when someone's sick, you can, you know, they're like whatever. I've seen it done a few times. I'm not going to go into any detail, but you know, there's like procedures that you do. There's, you know, things that have to be done to complete this ceremony, but it's to take the sickness from people, you know, and it's to bless them. And, you know, like when you grow up hearing those types of things, and you know, you see people that you look up to believe in this way, and you see them living good lives. You see other people coming to them and asking for prayers. You see other people, crying, for help. And you see these men like and women, that are able to lead us in prayer, lead ceremonies, and they believe in that wind is alive. They believe that the stars are beings. They believe that the earth, the dirt, I used to just look at it as dirt, something that was beaded up around my neck. Yeah. No, but that's where all the good spirits come from. And that's what gives life. We wouldn't be here. That's where I come from, is the dirt. So like there's so many different things. There's 4 seasons. There's like everything just happens in fours. So many different things go with the number 4. And there's one thing that somebody asked me this the other day: what's your favorite number? And I said it's got to be 5, because whenever we, as Cheyenne people, when we set down an offering, we don't do east, south, west, and north. We go southeast, then we do southwest. Thunder and lightning, hail and tornadoes. Then we do northwest, which is um, Turtle Island, and then we do northeast, which is the people that has gone on. Because I've always asked, like, well, why don't we do east, south, west? And they're like, because there's already spirits that live there. We're recognized the other spirits that come from these other directions. And then, before we set it down, the 5th one goes up to the Creator. And then you make 4 motions before you set it down. And then you smudge yourself, or you bless yourself. I don't know why we got into the habit of calling it smudge, but it's you bless yourself. You wipe yourself off. You clean yourself, and you always do that 4 times. I like to do my head, I like to do my heart, I like to do, my feet, and then I like to do my whole body. So 4 is a very significant number. Because like just everything happens in 4s. When we lose somebody, they go in 4s. When there's just so many different things that happen to us. 4 seasons, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Like it's just a recurring number. But whenever I think of 4, it makes me also think of 5. Then 6, 7. Yeah. But
End of your offering.
yeah.
Just really finish it off.
Nisu nasu. But yeah, I like I like the thought, the way, just our thinking, just our way of life. It's beautiful. And I believe in all those things. I believe the wind is alive. I believe, them trees, they're speaking to each other. I believe there's just so many different, ways that I see the world today. And it all happened because of love. It all happened because of love. Not only the love, I learned how to love myself. So therefore, I've learned how to love these things and recognize these things. I believe that the earth, the whole earth is alive. The rocks are alive. The mountains are alive. These are, these are natural beings, and we're only here for a little while, and they'll be here forever. So that's all I got.
Thank you.
Mm.
I appreciate that you still carry like teachings and like things that you learned from your life, because like my grandpa was an alcoholic for the most of his life, and I mean, he's been sober about maybe 13, 14 years now.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy. He just never really, I mean, he might know some things, you know, but
does.
he doesn't share them with me.
Yeah, he does.
But it just makes me like grateful that these things, these teachings, and this knowledge is still able to be passed down, you know. Our kids might know a little something.
Oh yeah.
Oh, me?
You want to go?
I thought that was
I was
leading
waiting-
into shit.
Leading into-
Yeah, we're all like, okay, it's a cliffhanger.
Ladies last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, I think you know how it talks. I think Barry summed it up. I mean, really good about
Yes.
everything happens in fours, the four directions, and then in the little explanation portion, it was talking about how our mind thinks differently when we face certain directions, and I
Mhm.
think it's just natural. You know, if we face the east, we're usually waiting for the sunrise. If we face the west, we're waiting for the sunset. So it's kind of different mentalities when you're looking to the east. It's more like you're looking in prepping for the day or prepping for what's to come, and then when you're facing the west, it's more of you're kind of absorbing everything in, and you want to continue doing that. And then it's different for every tribe, every family within a tribe, because you can ask 10 different families in the same tribe like what this means, and you'll get 20 different answers somehow.
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. And so it's kind of that if you kind of stick with one family's teachings, you can absorb a lot more of what the four directions mean from that lineage, and then pass that on. It's always good just to ask. I think that's one thing that we've gotten good at, because I know while we were like, who do we even talk to about some of these things, and now we have no problem like going up to Bobby, Dale, Pinky, Gordon, like all these people, Fred, to where we can get this knowledge to kind of boost what we're feeling. We want to like understand why we're feeling this, like the why behind certain things that we do. And it's just comforting knowing that that knowledge is still there. But then on the flip side, it's like it's not as widespread as we would hope, where everybody is like on the same page about this stuff. And so I do think we're seeing a lot more shifts in people wanting to get this knowledge back, because for a while it seemed like it was just like, oh well, we'll just chalk it up as a lost, it's like gone forever. And then we were like, well, we can actually do something. We can ask the people, offer something, like put tobacco down, like or any kind of offering or anything. And so we do that in my family a lot. And so it's just a matter of taking it in and remembering it correctly, because sometimes you'll just take bits and pieces out of a lesson, and then you'll just switch the whole thing
to whatever fits you.
yeah it'd be like, you
Take
are
what you
right,
need,
yeah
leave the rest.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I think it's it's just all about kind of what do I say, just soak up everything that you
Willingness
can.
to learn.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
gotta have that
Keep
willingness to learn.
keep an open mind. Be ambitious with learning. Like, don't just be like, all right, I'm gonna learn one word, and like
It'll come to me.
Yeah. I'm just gonna wait for somebody to say this and explain it to me without me asking. And so I think
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And I like the way that you explain that, because like we have this innate knowledge.
Mhm.
We have this, I think yesterday's reading kind of talked about it. Have this restlessness that you want to know, but then whenever the shame and guilt of not knowing takes over, then that kind of controls your narrative as to who can I approach? Why am I going to sound dumb when I ask that? Or, there's so many times in my life where I let that take over.
Mhm.
And I acted like I knew, like I just went along, oh, that's just what we do. That's, and there's a lot of things that I don't know.
Mhm.
And I'll play it off, like, and somebody, and Natalie would be the one to call me, well, why do you do that? I don't know, you know. Like,
Because I got hit if I didn't.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, Natalie calls me out on that a lot, which I appreciate. You know, she lets me know, like, well, why do y'all do that? You know, and it makes me wonder, you know, like,
It like pushes the growth, and so
yeah,
yeah, it's kind of like the
Challenges
yeah,
your growth.
yeah, for sure.
yeah. The
That's
other
that's
day, my
pretty
grandma
healthy.
was like, "You guys can set up TPs pretty good, right?" I was like, "No, we can't." I was like, "We can take them down phenomenally." It's like we set
Yeah.
up 10 times, but it's been good 2. And then she's like, "Oh, okay." But
Never mind.
like, it's just that thing, practice. Because I mean, we'll look like dorks, like trying it out,
Yeah, we'll try it.
and then it works out great. Like whenever we all like come together and learn
Yeah.
together, and so
And you know who helped me out last year at the Sundance setting up a TV? Billy.
mhm.
Billy did it without, like, he probably didn't even have to look. He could have just sat there and,
Listen.
yeah, not like
Yeah.
that, but, yeah, it was great. It worked out great. So,
I think that well, just in what I've learned is that growing up, the elders that I was around, they didn't talk about the teachings. They didn't talk about anything.
yeah.
And they were all serious and quiet, and they didn't really talk to you unless they had to. And as I've gone through, you know, Wellbriety, White Bison trainings, being around, just in the community, I've learned about the generational trauma that caused the
Hmm.
inability to
Yeah.
speak about
Mhm.
the things and carry these teachings. And that is one thing that I do appreciate about Nat, about Frida. Frida is Ute tribe, and I get to learn her ways too.
Hmm.
And Natalie, and just the openness and the willingness to talk about these things without making me feel small,
Yeah.
like for not knowing,
Mhm.
because when you're not raised, in it, and then even my parents don't know anything, you know what I mean? My mom has started to open the door a little bit with Josie dancing. She's like, I want to come see Josie dance.
Yeah,
And I
for
was like,
sure.
yeah, you got to come to a dance sometime, and not be like, you just got to do it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It might feel uncomfortable at first. It might feel like, oh, do I fit in here? I wasn't raised in the culture. But truth is, like, we're gonna be there with open arms, and we're gonna
Yeah.
be happy to see you.
No one's telling you that but yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said yesterday, like we're our own worst like critic, or
Mhm.
like we are literally the only people that are standing in. I'm getting in my own way when
Yeah.
I have those thoughts, and but yeah, the 4 directions just make me think about my surroundings. Where am I placing myself in the world today? What direction am I heading in? What does my what are my thoughts like when I'm facing these different directions? Kind of like you said. Um, but yeah, that's really all I have on that.
That's good.
Mhm.
And like there's like I think it's important where they talk about the 4 directions. When we have our meetings, we read step 1, 2, and 3, and we all stand up together and we all face the east. And that's what they consider finding the creator. Step 1, 2, and 3. You face east to find the creator. And that becomes a part of your everyday regimen. That becomes part of your everyday habit. Is to get up and face the rising sun and to say a prayer. You want the creator, the creator's will in your life, or whatever, Ofunga, whatever, whoever you consider, your higher power. Step 1, 2, and 3, and then we all face south. And that's where they say that you're going to find yourself. 4, 5, and 6. And those are probably, those steps are, you know, they need action. 4, 5, and 6. Anybody that's ever worked any steps, they know about step 4.
Mm.
That self inventory. You know, so then after you face, we read 4, 5, and 6, where you consider facing south, where you go and find yourself. And then we face west, 7, 8, and 9, and that's called finding your family. That's where you go to find your family. That's where you're making amends. That's where you're apologizing. That's where, you're creating these boundaries not only for them but for yourself. And it's a healthy place to be. That's where these relationships start to manifest again. That's where these things that you thought about, before, that's where they start to come alive, whenever you're facing west. And then 10, 11, and 12, you're facing north. We all turn to the north, and he reads 10, 11, and 12, where it's that daily maintenance. It's that daily reprieve, 10, 11, and 12. And that's what we do every time we have a meeting here. And it's the brother Dave who learned that from the sister Sunday out there in California, to acknowledge those directions. So having that in my head, there's a part of a ceremony that that we have during the summer, that we go out and we face the exact same. First we face east, then south, then west, and then north. And you're praying to the spirits of those directions.
Mhm.
And you're showing them your paint. You're showing them like how you're dressed. And they're supposed to recognize you, recognize those designs and those paints. And you're asking for their blessing. You're asking, and me already having the Wellbriety knowledge. And whenever I did those things, I thought about the teachings that I learned in this book.
Mhm.
So whenever I got to talk to Don C, in December, that's one of the things that I expressed, is that Wellbriety connects my recovery to the way that I believe. And it was like a beautiful moment, kind of like it made a lot of sense to me, like as to why we should do that, and why it makes me feel so good to acknowledge these things. So I just wanted to share that little bit. So,
Thank you.
I seen we had a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big comments.
Feather and Fred says good morning from South Central LA.
Hey, good morning, brother and sister.
People Power Respect asked, what about the number 49 for your favorite number?
Hey, that's my pin on my 49, and there's 2 other letters.
49 again.
First you 49, and then
Yeah. And then Dave says your chibs are very alive. And then
I hope, brother.
Charlene says, I was just listening to Barry's Way of Life, looking to the direction, sipping on my coffee, and 6'7". Dang that guy. Yep. And then Belinda says, I appreciate you kicking us some knowledge.
Aho.
Buddha says, love and appreciate all the free knowledge, free survival guide.
Yes, I like that.
Aho, brother.
And then Frida says, when I read this, it reminded me of how I'm doing the Native Leadership book by Don Coya, started with the full moon 3 days ago. Even though I'm sick, my sobriety does not stop me. Aho, every day is a healing day. Thank you, Brother Barry, for your wisdom and teachings.
Thank you, sister.
Monica All Runner Young Bear says, good morning, Barry.
That's my big sister.
Have an amazing day. But anyway, have a good one.
Thank you, sister. Hope you have a good day.
All right. Then Ruth.
Give mom a hug for me.
Ruth says, yes, East, I always think of beginnings and renewal, and West, I always think of grateful and closure. I never really thought about my different thoughts until I read that this morning. Had to sit and think of what I think.
Thank you for sharing that, Auntie, and I'm glad you had a good trip.
Mm-hmm.
Glad you made it home safe.
And then Seth says, only dumb question is the one not asked.
Yeah.
Belinda says, I don't mind asking dumb questions.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then there's Nat. Oh, jeez, I'm trying to read it from right here, but I can't see.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, if you
Dang,
want to read
Nat.
it, I know.
Okay.
You're writing a novel.
Just call us.
Yeah, yeah. Just
join us.
Join us on the couch.
Yeah.
Nat said, I remember one day the guy that came to cut our grass pulled the mower off and dropped tobacco to the 4 directions. It was a silent reminder that those teachings were still alive. I asked him later if he prays every time he cuts the grass, and he said, every time. The grass is alive, and it should be allowed to just be, but this world's teachings require that our yards are supposed to look a certain way, but they don't ever ask the grass what it thinks anymore.
Ooh, I like that.
Thank
You know, and you know, like when you cut the grass and that smell, I was told that's the grass communicating to the other grass, like that's the warning that it's giving
Mm.
to the other grass that
it's
something's coming to
danger.
hurt it. Yeah.
Saying goodbye to the other. Wow.
Sherry Sam Shoto says, "Hi guys, good seeing each of you this morning. Been missing your show in the mornings. Glad to catch up today. Barry, I love your shirt."
I knew she was gonna say, yeah.
And then Aunt Mealy says, "Good morning."
Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Belinda says, "Step 4 was eye-opening. Grateful for that."
Yes.
And then Amy Valdez says, "Good morning from Silmar, California."
Hey, thank you for tuning in.
Ooh.
Well, that was good. That's some great comments, and you know we appreciate everybody that's willing to share a little bit with us too. You know that means a lot to us. You know, so thank you everybody for tuning in.
Mhm. Tommy says, "Pivawana,
People wouldn't
good
know-
morning. I missed the reading, but you guys have a blessed day." And then Nadina says, "Thank you, Barry, for your knowledge. It helps out a lot. Have a wonderful day."
Thank you, Nadina.
Nat says, "I'm really sitting outside listening, just in the parking lot." Barry's food's ready.
Oh my
Should have made it. Got up early and made it. Yeah. Just kidding, babe. Just kidding, babe.
She's gonna cut you to half portions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Bring him a
yeah.
PB&J today.
yeah. I had to make it in the morning, like you said, so I couldn't make as much.
Thanks, babe. You're the bestest.
Oh my gosh.
Well, do we have any? What do we got going on next week?
Next week we have Sober Seams on March 10th, which is Tuesday. And so come out from 6 to 8.
And I believe we're going to be a little bit more organized.
Attempt.
Yes.
We're going to attempt to be a little bit more organized. You know, sorry if you've came and somebody wasn't able to help you as thoroughly, because if you've been to one, then you see how it's kind of
Chaos.
every man for himself.
Mhm.
But we're going to try to be a little bit more organized. I think maybe if we pull back on so many crafts and maybe focus on one a night, that would make it a little bit easier. But I mean, it's still a great idea. Like it's still.
Are you doing belts?
Maybe.
Well, I was like
They have
last night.
leather.
I was like, we're gonna focus on like 2 things now instead of like so many.
Yeah,
when I
5
announced it
things
at the
going
meeting.
on.
So I just said belts and skirts.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I mean, it's one sewing thing and then one not sewing thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what happens on the sewing. We never see each other.
Yeah.
So
Pandemonium over here.
yeah.
All smooth sailing. over here.
yeah. Belts are great. yeah.
And you have
Yeah.
me, Des, and Theta
Yeah.
just taking trips to the bathroom and upstairs and
Yeah, hiding, crying in the same stall.
all in the big stall together. No. We plan on really preparing Arma that everyone really has more time to work on their project, but
Yeah.
just that it's more organized. We don't have all these scraps going everywhere, and we just really want you to be able to leave with something that you're proud of and that you created,
Yeah.
and so just gonna revamp that a little bit. We're having spaghetti pasta,
Spaghetti.
right?
Yeah.
Bring some garlic bread if you feel
Otherwise, you're
compelled.
gonna get our microwaved garlic bread, which are
Yeah.
old hot dog.
Oh no, I'm
buns.
We're
dying.
gonna pull out just
What?
a loaf of bread. That's all we got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
butter.
yeah.
That's all you
That's all-
need.
Yep.
For real.
Loaf of bread and
As long as it's
butter.
white bread. I don't want wheat bread. Get that out of
Hell
here.
yeah. Some
But
butter.
yeah, we'll see, and then we'll probably ask everybody if it works out better this way or that way. See what
We're
they
just
say.
gonna attempt. You know, we got to
Yeah.
play with the idea.
We're all like, all right, we'll let everybody know. But then every time we let somebody know, then there's 10 more people that show up right after we give a whole speech. And so
Yeah.
we're like, oh, here we go. And so now it's just every 5 minutes we just yell,
We're gonna
whose kids are
organize-
these?
Yeah, we're gonna organize our chaos.
It'll be slightly less chaos. But yeah, we have that next week on Thursday, actually, during the day. If anybody wants to do some service work for us, or with us, I should say, we're going to be at our Clinton location, which is right next to the food pantry or food distribution. It's the old smoke shop. And so we have a couple thousand pounds of clean clothes that we got to organize into kid sizes, adult sizes, all that stuff, to hopefully get closer to opening this office that we've been waiting on opening forever. But yeah, so if you want to come out,
Yeah, so if
it's
you're
from
in the
10 to
Clinton,
3.
Thomas, Weatherford, Elk City, Hammond area,
Mhm.
you know, just come on out and
Just help us
do
out.
some service work.
Yeah.
Help us out.
And
Yeah.
you'll probably have fun and you'll probably laugh while you're there too.
Yeah,
'cause
we
that's
might
what
we're
even
do.
let you have clothes too if you want them. Probably. I don't know, but
We're gonna feed them.
maybe. I don't know yet.
It's a good
We'll
chance.
try. Yeah, it depends on how many people, I guess, first, and then we'll.
Yeah.
I was saying
There's
we'll just
too
do the
many.
leftover spaghetti from Tuesday.
We'll warm it up.
Yeah, put it outside
the
in the
store.
sun. Yeah.
Warm it
Yeah.
up at the store.
Half the outlets don't work in that building, so you can't even microwave it. So here we go. But
We'll figure something out.
yeah, it'll be a fun time.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, is that it?
No speaker nights, not for another day.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that afterwards. But also yeah, I believe Ceiling plays today, Hammond plays today. I know Varnum plays again today. Rattan, Calumet. You know, go check out some small town basketball, man. It's pretty cool. You know, I love the environment. You know, I love the environment. So, you know, go Lady Wildcats, go Chieftains, you know, go Warriors. You know, I can't remember what Varnum was. But, you know, like these are all, you know, I love seeing natives, you know. It's a dream, you know, it's some of their dreams, you know. It's a big deal. So
Yeah.
I love the energy and I love watching, you know, the excitement. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that's all I really got.
Yeah. All right, let me finish
Well,
up these
Guys,
comments.
like-
oh,
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Daniel says the grass speaks to me too. It lets me know my allergies are about to act up.
Yeah.
and then he said this Saturday is Hey Yay in the city. I don't know what it is, but
Hey Ya.
something. And then Amy says I'm coming to Oklahoma for a week. Hopefully I can hit a Wellbriety meeting. There's
Yeah,
plenty of them.
yeah,
Plenty
for
of them.
sure. Yeah, Sister Frida has meetings on the weekend.
mhm.
Mhm.
Uh,
All over. All over.
all over. Frida Ray. But like, share, follow. Tell your mammy about us, and we will see you next week.
Mhm.
Aho.